What happens when we listen to a medieval or an early modern text? This film thinks about how texts construct different voices and how audiences received and continue to receive and interpret those voices. Sound has the capacity to transfer meaning, but also to ignite emotion. In medieval crusade songs, songs that were written in response to the Crusades in the Middle East, we can hear the tangible voices of writers and their characters, but we can also hear the less tangible, subtle voices of emotional response, of knights marching off to war, of medieval women mourning the loss of their lovers as they travelled, and of the trials of conflict in foreign lands.
Unfortunately, the actual words that were spoken or sung don't always come down to us through time. So what happens when a verbal source has undergone various editorial processes? Whose voices are represented, and what can they tell us about the people and places we study? My research draws on two miracle collections that were composed at a shrine in Prato, Italy, devoted to a painting of the Madonna. The accounts have their origins in the oral testimonies of pilgrims who came to the shrine to report the miracles that they'd received and attributed to this painting of the Virgin. One example is the testimony of a boy named Martino da Calenzano.
Martino di Domenico da Calenzano, contado di Firenze,
a boy at the age of 10 broke his left thigh bone and it was not set right, so he could not walk without crutches. For this reason, his father tenderly took a vow, promising if it healed to place a thigh of wax before the most beautiful Madonna and leave the crutches there. And he made the promise, and immediately the child was healed, and on the 8th day following he ratified the vow and visited the aforementioned Madonna.
As was common in the 15th century, a scribe would hear the stories and write them down, but he'd do so in a formulaic manner that was somewhat reminiscent of a legal document. He'd record names, ages, occupations, and essential details of the miracle. Yet how the pilgrims told their stories, their intonations, gestures, and the things they emphasised have consequently been lost. These records were often re-edited, sometimes much later, further obscuring the pilgrims' voices. Despite this, historians work very hard to look beyond the formulas to reveal more about the people whose stories are recorded. For example, in Martino's story, the prayer, the vow and the votive offering are all typical elements of religious rituals that were enacted in front of images of this kind.
Although many of the layers of medieval and Renaissance texts have now been lost, with careful work they can be reconstructed to provide rich insight into the lives and minds of the people whose voices have come down to us.